Good morning, and this is the Verbal Nonsense Podcast. I'm Joel,
And I am Todd.
and today we're going to bring you the best things we could find to talk about this week.
Oh yes, yeah, it's probably not the best, but I actually found some that were really good. I just don't want to talk about them. Um, like I don't know, you want to hear about this prisoner who lost some testicles and then got acquitted in jail.
Okay,
Yeah, no, this dude.
you have my attention, Todd.
Yeah, this guy, he had some weird swelling while he was incarcerated, and in his testicles, and kept complaining. Apparently, this happened, of course, in Texas, where prisoners have no rights. And I wasn't actually going to talk about it, so I didn't write it in my notes, but it was right there staring at me, so I brought it up. This dude is a career criminal. I'm going to throw that out there. Trying to find his name. Maybe it doesn't say his name, but either way, they removed both of his testicles and then got acquitted. So he went to trial. And now he's suing. He's of course suing the state because when you go to jail, I've seen it in movies, you turn all your stuff in, your clothes, your jewelry, whatever, your wallet, they put it in a box. Well, he did not leave with everything he came in with. So I believe that he has a valid lawsuit there. I don't know if he got all the contents of his box back, but he definitely didn't get the contents of his bag.
Oh, you must have thought long and hard about that one.
Actually didn't. It all just came to me just now. However, Mr. Lookhart, dentist, are dentists doctors? They say they are, but are they really?
Yes,
Okay.
they are.
Okay, well, that's settled. What do you got? That's all I had on that. No, actually, I didn't. Dude's 34 years old, dentist from Anchorage, Alaska. He is facing 40 plus counts of misconduct there in Anchorage. Have you seen this? You're staring at me like I've seen this. Like I've seen
No.
it. I did see it. You didn't see it. But this is the hoverboard dentist. And I guess, it's kind of fun when doctors do the quirky stuff, but maybe not performing oral surgery while riding on a hoverboard.
Yeah, I would have a problem with that.
Yeah, he also, instead of, just regular anesthesia, he was also forcing his patients to purchase more exotic, more expensive forms of painkillers in order to do these surgeries. He's kind of a real scumbag, but he's got sentencing. He was found guilty on like 40 some counts of doctor misconduct or something like that. And no, the most interesting quote from this case comes from his own lawyer, who made a point to express to the court that he is sorry for his client's idiotic behavior and informed the court and the jury that when the dentist came to Mr. Dr. Lookhart, came to him for legal services, he got in the dentist's face, the lawyer did, and said, "What the hell were you thinking?" I'm not 100% sure why you would say that to a potential client and then take the case. And then express that encounter in court. It's just like, I'm here to defend him, but this guy's super guilty.
His own lawyer threw him under the bus. I love it.
Yeah, hard. He threw him under hard. He's just like, yeah, this anesthesia thing,
He didn't just push him in front of it. He then got in the bus and drove it over himself.
he looked for other buses too. I mean, it's just like,
Hey guys, follow me.
follow me. He's like, let's go 2 miles from the bus terminal and I'll just throw you in front of every bus that comes by. We want to make sure they're up to speed first.
Just lay at the exit. Just lay it where the buses come in and out. That way he's getting hit by both incoming and ongoing.
But anybody seeking legal advice, don't go to Anchorage. The article didn't say who the lawyer's name is, but honestly, if you commit a crime in Anchorage, try to get tried in a different state. You might end up with that guy. That's all I got on that. You got anything on to add to Hoverboard Dentist?
Only the part where you said idiot.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with the current youth? First, we had the Tide Pod challenge.
Right.
Then we had the condom challenge where they were snorting condoms.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the newest one? The
No.
outlet challenge.
Shut up. I'm excited.
They're taking phone chargers and only plugging them in part way in, and then putting a penny in between the two prongs.
No.
Yes. Obviously, it's caused some fires, lots of wire damage, outlet damages, and the fire marshals are just like, stop.
How is that a challenge? Are they supposed to hold
To
the
not
penny?
get electrocuted? I don't know.
I don't know.
You're supposed to try to produce a spark by touching a penny to the exposed prongs. The problem is if you leave it sit too long, the penny literally melts and becomes part of the prongs.
Yeah.
And now you have a completed circuit, and things go poorly.
That's an interesting challenge.
And apparently, this has been I guess it's going viral on like TikTok, and it's actually popped up in Massachusetts as a real problem. I am ashamed that the youth in the state that I come from are participating in this.
I actually skipped a few stories from Massachusetts just because it was just like, this kind of makes old Joel's state look bad.
It does, which is like, you son of a...
Yeah. I'm from California, so I really don't care if it goes
don't
looks
worry,
bad
I got
or
one
not.
from your state too.
Oh, well, like I just said, my state looks bad enough.
But since we're talking about Massachusetts, I'm going to go straight into the second one from Massachusetts.
Right on.
Because this woman, they should kick her out.
So
You've probably this just seemed like something you would have seen.
probably.
Massachusetts serial pooper arrested
Yep. Yeah.
after police catch her defecating in parking lot.
It was like the same parking lot.
Yeah. She kept pooping in the same parking lot. The guy had, complained a couple of times that, hey, look, someone's pooping in my parking lot. And at first, when the police, were like, all right, we'll look at it, they thought maybe it was an animal. And then they noticed that there was wipes and pieces of toilet paper. And they're like, okay. And they actually caught her in the act. They were starting to, to watch the area because they figured it was happening when no one was there.
Do you think that they let her finish or just went and slapped the cuffs on her?
No, they waited until she was done and got in her car and started the drive off, and they pulled her over.
Oh.
And
it's not how I would have done it.
catch her in the act, literally.
Yeah.
Now,
rubber nose in it. Bad.
She tried to play it off that, she stopped because it was an emergency and she had irritable bowel syndrome. Now, mind you, she was supposedly heading to work. Okay. One, not only did the police, but several people had witnessed her sitting in the parking lot in her car, waiting for the parking lot to empty out. And her workplace was right down the road. And they're like, yeah, we have a bathroom. And they're like, the amount of time that you sat there waiting, you could have easily made it to work and gone to the bathroom there. So they arrested her.
Yeah, it was dozens of times that I remember that I read that the parking lot attendant was just like having to go clean it up, and then then that person realized it's like, this is not an animal, this is definitely human poop.
Yep.
And no, I would have if I was the police and I showed up, and I would have rubbed her nose in it. I would have just hit her with some newspapers. Bam!
I have someone demanding attention here.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Newspaper.
I didn't have a choice. She was like, attention now.
Didn't have your squirt bottle. Oh man, the Miami Weather Service. Did you see falling iguanas?
I did see that.
Yeah.
I almost picked that one, but I didn't.
I got a bunch of them, so if you'd rather talk about it, but you read it.
No, go for it. I don't have that pulled up.
No, it's Georgia and what is it? Georgia, Florida, there's another state that they listed, South Carolina or something like that, is warning that as iguanas cool off below 50 degrees, their bodies actually go dormant. And as they realize this is about to happen, they go to sleep in trees. And so they fall asleep, and they start falling out of the sky. Some of these iguanas can weigh up to 25 pounds. So if you're in the if you're in the area, look out, and don't be like this guy, because I have a follow-up story. Hang on a second.
No, that's fine. I was going to say one thing. I was born in Florida. I don't remember Florida because they left when I was about 1. But my dad used to say one of the things you had to watch out for in Florida was coconuts still in their husk falling out of the trees. He says one of those hit you in the head and knock you out.
So here, I wanted to let everybody know about the old iguana thing, because that makes this story make a little more sense, but not really. It's another guy in Florida who loaded up his car with some of these frozen iguanas to try to save them. Needless to say, they warmed up in his car as he was driving and caused a really furious accident.
Oh, I'll stop laughing now.
No, it was a funny accident. Nobody got killed.
Oh, good. So what made me laugh was the vision in my head of him driving and all of a sudden these things coming to and running around in the car.
But iguana's kind of a delicacy, and he actually was planning on not really saving them. He was saving them to sell them for food. So he just figured, hey, there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of iguanas just laying around on the ground. I'm gonna throw them in my car and make a profit. But anyway, he was. I've got the wrong article, but regardless, they woke up, they attacked him, he ran into a tree, they escaped. That's the end of the story. Win. I had the wrong. I had 2 versions of that article, and that's the one I apparently bookmarked, and that's it. That a lot of build up, and just let you down. You're welcome.
Now we're going to talk about California.
Oh, more disappointment.
I don't know if you heard about this one, but the police and bomb squad had to evacuate several homes in California after a home was entered by paramedics because a 70-year-old man had died. While they were in there, they found hundreds of military explosives in his house. And I was like, whoa, wait, hundreds?
Just a little something I brought back from Nam.
And they weren't sure if they were active or not. So they brought in the police bomb squad and personnel from Travis Air Force Base in Fairfield to respond to the scene. No. Yeah. They actually had to, there was so many devices in the house, they actually had to leave, go back and get additional personnel. So that's telling me that some of the devices were probably active.
What do they do? They take these things out like groceries? I mean, if we can't make it one trip, why bother?
No, they went back, got help, and came back to get the rest of it.
I'm just, as you were saying that, I was picturing, you got like 20 bags of groceries coming up to the, from the car into the house, and they're just like, well, let's see, there's 10 of us. We can't get these all in one trip. We need more people. Don't even get started, boys.
Oh
wow! I'm really curious on how you obtained that many. Because I mean,
maybe sneaking 1 or 2 home. I could see it.
Yeah.
But where did he get hundreds?
No kidding.
Is he buying these on the black market or?
I just don't know why he would have them.
I don't. Or maybe he decided, when the time comes, I'm just gonna blow myself up and take everybody with me, and just died before he got that far. I don't know.
That's crazy talk. That's not the way to go.
Maybe he really didn't like his neighbors. I don't know. I'm not saying if you don't like your neighbors, blow yourself up along with them, but
I don't know. I don't know.
Sometimes those neighbors can drive you crazy.
Sometimes those neighbors have curtain malfunctions while they're getting out of the shower.
Yeah, maybe he saw something he didn't need to see, and
that happened to me this morning. We were talking about it earlier.
That was I'm talking about the old man, Todd. Maybe he witnessed a neighbor and decided he couldn't get that out of his mind.
I can't get that out of my mind. I need hundreds of explosives.
Yes. Not only am I taking myself out, they're coming with me.
Maybe he had like a trade system. He was just like, how many ballistic charges will you take for a hydrogen bomb? I don't know, man. I don't know.
What you got?
I'm looking at this angry squirrel that just popped up. This evil squirrel has already sent 2 mothers to the hospital in Texas. Oh, man.
Oh, well, it's Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, right?
Well, this squirrel apparently is...
probably the size of a Labrador. I don't know.
Who knows? It's standard Texas squirrel. No, apparently open doors are not a thing for these people because this thing actually, like... I'm just quickly reading through... who writes these articles? I have a real issue with people who write these weird article pieces because they're like, there's a lot of, I don't know, they're trying to set a mood, and I mean, just tell me this squirrel attacks people. We
don't need to know his motives. Just tell us what he did.
No, they're trying to inform the readers. Like, hey, this is not every squirrel. This is an isolated incident. It's like, we know squirrels to be nice and eat nuts and just play around on trees, but, there are literally 4 paragraphs defending the squirrel population at large. But just to make sure that we know that this is the only squirrel in the world, and not all squirrels are like this.
Yeah, I know. We have squirrels around our area.
I do too, and I keep my doors locked. Shifty squirrels, man. Have you not watched Ice Age? I mean, anytime I bring home a bag of peanuts, I have to bring them in multiple boxes and spray it with bleach just so the squirrels can't smell them.
Oh, what was that commercial where the guy had that bar? Was it Nutrageous?
I don't know if that one's delicious, though.
He opens it, and all of a sudden you see the squirrels, and all of a sudden, like, there's like hundreds of them, and he's trying to eat it and run before the squirrels catch him.
Oh, man. Well, this woman claims that every time she opens her front door, the squirrel leaps out of somewhere like a ninja and bites her arm and legs, tears her clothes. She won't even let her children play outside. They say that daytime outside, they have a family dog who's also tormented by the squirrel. Apparently it's a cul-de-sac or something like that, just like a dead-end street of suburban housewives who are in fear of the squirrel. It's Texas. Have they not shot this yet?
That's what I was just thinking. I'm like, isn't like Texas the home of guns? I mean,
yeah, it sounds like it'd be World War II.
I figured
two and a half.
I figured you got one of those on like your 10th birthday, and
yeah, here's your 50 cal, son.
Grandpa hands down the family heirloom,
Yeah. Freaking 20 millimeter grenade launcher. I carried this back in WW1. Squirrels. That's it.
Fire a warning shot. It's a grenade launcher. Potato, potato. Fire a warning shot.
Potato, potato. Oh, man. This is sad. Oh, never mind. He's back. Somebody's therapy goat was stolen.
Therapy goat?
Yeah, they got a therapy goat. I'm trying to
Eh.
find out what
Was it a real therapy goat or was it just Eddie Vedder?
is Eddie Vedder. What a joke. You know, it's kind of old now, but you know, when they kind of resurfaced, Pearl Jam kind of resurfaced, and they put out that new video. I honestly couldn't tell it was Pearl Jam when I watched it. I was just like, "What's wrong with Coldplay?" It's what I thought it. I'm serious. It was all black and white and introspective, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, "What happened to Coldplay? The dude sounds like he has a cold or something." You know, he's got like some laryngitis or throat cancer. What's going on? And it looked like Coldplay, sounded like bootleg Pearl Jam. I'm not impressed. It's just one of those bands that should have just walked away.
You left a good legacy behind. Leave it alone.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I'll leave that one be.
Retire, goat man. Retire.
Do you remember the band The Eels? They wrote the song Novocaine for the Soul. You better get me something to fill this hole before I sputter out.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think I'm also familiar with another song the Eels did. It's just been so long.
Yeah, they were basically a one-hit wonder band from the mid-90s. I accidentally stumbled across their new CD, and I'll be listening to it for a long time.
Now you've got my brain, because there was a song. Did you ever watch the movie Road Trip?
Yes.
And there was a song from that. I think the Eels did it. Goddamn right, it's a beautiful day.
No, I don't think that was the Eels.
No,
it might have been. I don't know. That was a horrible movie. That movie was so bad. There was a bunch of just really bad movies. I mean, we look back at them, like, of course, like the American Pie series.
That was the Eels.
There was the Eels. Okay. I don't know. They were a
Mr.
one-hit wonder
Eels.
band. As far as I'm concerned, Novocaine is the only song they actually ever wrote and played that was good. Until now.
I think the actual name of the song is Mr. E's Beautiful Blues. And
the song you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, because I don't actually know the name of the song I'm talking about. All I know is it's kind of depressing.
But, yeah, you said the Eels, and I was like, my brain's clicking along, and you mentioned that song, and I'm like, that's not the song I know from them. What was the... And they actually, on the DVD for that movie, they actually had, like, a music video for that song. Wow. And they had the people from the movie in it.
Interesting. Oh, what was the Not Another Teen Movie? Marilyn Manson's, the video for that one. That was pretty impressive. What did he Tainted Love was the song he did for that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yep. What was I getting at? Oh, yeah. A lot of bad movies, a lot of forgettable music that was really good for the time. You revisit it now, and it's just like, oh, yeah, life was simpler back then.
Every decade has a lot of bands that were one-hit wonders. I mean, the 90s were plagued with them, like Tripping Daisy and...
Harvey Danger, I believe, is probably one of the most underrated one-hit wonder band ever.
I liked Harvey Danger.
They had that crappy song.
Paranoia.
Yeah, there was like...
Everybody's coming to get me.
There's like 12 or 15 songs on that album, and Flagpole Sitta was the radio single that they chose to cripple their career with, and that was the worst song on the album.
Well, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know Weezer's not a one-hit wonder, but when they first come out, they chose to put the Sweater Song as their first song on the radio, and they were like, why? That is the worst song on the album. Why would you do that?
That would be like Goldfinger having the shower song. Just like, this is how we want to be known.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What was that one other band? The Flaming Lips. Now,
That-
according to people from Seattle, they weren't one-hit wonders. But honestly, the only song I heard that got popular from them was Vaseline.
the Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
That are you?
Tangerine.
I think you have your bands mixed up, or maybe I do.
It wasn't. Maybe it wasn't called Vaseline, but they said Vaseline in it a lot, and it might have just been called Tangerine.
I think you're talking about the Violent Femmes.
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Because the
I could pull it up and play that song.
Because the Flaming Lips is the rock band of Oklahoma. They are like not even. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they've only had one song on the radio. Maybe that's what constitutes them as a one-hit wonder. But they have like 15 or 20 albums.
Do they really?
Yeah, they. Oh, what was that? Trying to remember the name of the album. It was a huge collaboration album. They did covers of a dozen different bands. Miley Cyrus did goodness gracious, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Huh.
And yeah, it's like maybe on the radio, maybe they are a one-hit wonder band. I don't know, because honestly, I can't ever think of actually hearing any of their songs on the radio. Maybe if I went to Oklahoma, I would, because they're officially the rock band of Oklahoma. It's literally passed by their Congress. There was a lot of controversy on that too, because they're not only hard drug advocates, but they are also users of extremely hard hallucinogenics, and there was a problem with it. But apparently they're from Oklahoma. I don't know.
And then there was that what was that other band that you just never Live, I think they were called, or Live.
Oh my
they had
goodness,
that song
Live.
Lightning Crashes.
Live is one of my favorite bands. Don't say they were a one-hit wonder. Because Throwing Copper had five songs that were on the radio, just in good rotation back then.
Well, I wasn't really calling them one-hit wonders, but really, do you hear of them anymore?
You actually kind of do. Kind of do. No, their music, every one of their albums, their music is littered in culture everywhere. We just don't recognize it somehow, even though he has a voice like Eddie Vedder. It's just like, you hear it, you're like, that's Live. But yeah, no, they had like one bad album and people dropped them like a rock, and their albums after that were really good, but they never recovered. They switched lead singers for a couple albums, and that's also a bad move. Just ask the Stone Temple Pilots. You don't get rid of your band. You don't get rid of your front man for any reason, even if it's just crack cocaine addiction. You don't send that man out to get help. It's a career ruiner. You know.
Just ask Metallica.
Yeah. Yeah.
They sent James to rehab, and then we got Saint Anger.
Yeah, Kurt Hammett. I mean, just look at what happens to bands that clean up. Why?
But yeah,
great idea.
I mean, there were a lot of bands back then, like the Breeders. I think I remember Cannonball from them, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think this is do 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 do. Yeah, yeah, that's a terrible band. If I could think of any more commercialized song ever that could be used in just about any, and I'm talking about like not like movies or shows or something. I'm talking about legitimate like car commercials or popcorn commercials or tampon commercials. That song could be used in anything. It could be used to sell whatever product you want because it's just that radio friendly. But the band's called the Breeders, so I guess there's that.
Yeah.
Pretty horrible band. So. There was like a lot of chick bands back then that were just really bad, but I think it was kind of a switch from 80s rock. It's like girls don't do rock unless you're Joan Jett. And then You know, you can name a
Georgette,
you can
Rita
name a
Ford.
ton. No, you can name a ton of female artists from the 80s or even the 70s, but did they really do rock on the level that like the Breeders or Hole was doing? You know, nah, not really. Other than Joan Jett. There's probably some more, but not really. And, you know, the 90s, they're just like, we need to flood the market with a bunch of angry women. And they did. And look what happened.
And now we have women in metal bands.
That's horrible. Hailstorm, Kitty,
OTEP.
OTEP.
I like OTEP.
OTEP, I don't know. Was it Apocalyptica or whatever?
What about
I don't get into it. If you're about to mention that band with the porn stars,
No. Arch
they're
Enemy.
horrible.
Arch Enemy got a female singer at one point, and honestly, there wasn't much of a difference in the vocals between her and the dude they had before. I was
No,
just like,
there wasn't.
I thought they got a new singer, and my buddy James was like, he pulled up the artwork,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, wow. So you don't like Ginger?
No,
Is that what they're called?
I don't know. I don't like any of them. Bondage dolls. I don't know what they call themselves. It's stupid. It's so gimmicky. It's not even funny. And then I read an article recently about them. They're just like, they're now wearing clothes. It's like, now no one's gonna see them. It's like, so they used to just wear the nipple tape. And who cares?
Todd hates everything, by the way. Just letting our viewers know, Todd hates everything,
Yeah, I do.
or almost everything.
I do. You want to talk about hating everything? Old Billy, what's her name? Why?
Billie Eilish.
Yeah, she's been around for a year and a half, 2 years. I don't know, since she was like 15. Did she just recently turn 18? Is that why we're just the sudden interest in her? Is that what's going on in the media right now?
I have no idea.
Because I kind of looked back because I was kind of wondering because I knew I'd heard of her. I want to say like 2 years ago, and I thought, okay. And then she came out with that comment of teenagers know more about politics and the government and what's going on in America than anybody else. Okay. And then and now it's just like she's the most talented person of our time, and I was like, okay. I don't know. It's like within the last couple of months, everybody on YouTube who is running out of ideas is talking about her, just kind of like I'm doing right now. Not really. We're on the topic of music. This came up because of that.
There was was a Jacksepticeye guy there. He gets they do a lot of memes, and he does a segment where he takes the memes that people make with him in it, and someone came with Billy Irish, and they put his face on Billie Eilish.
Oh, Billy Eyelash. I don't know what her name is. Really don't.
So they call him Billie Irish, and someone actually used that deep fake program to put his face on her in a video, and he was like, "This needs to stop."
I think that needs to start.
Billie Irish.
Stop stopping. We're going to continue now. Oh, boy.
He's like, is this the first Jacksepticeye deepfake? He goes, this is amazing, but at the same time, please stop with the Billie Irish. He has seen so many Billie Irish memes now. It's
I'll bet.
But
I don't know. I don't know. She unfortunately, to me, she's doing things that other people aren't doing. You know, making ASMR into music, but she's not really. She's gonna die out with all the attention that's like being slammed on her. It basically, I think her popularity is going to turn her into a passing thing.
So what you're saying is she's having her 15 minutes of fame, and
Yeah, took 2 years
that's-
to get to,
and that's all she's gonna get.
yeah, because people are going to move on.
You hear it here, folks. Todd predicted it.
Yeah. I mean,
But he'll just have to remember that when it happens to say "I told you so."
I'm just going to tell you I told you so in advance. And what confuses me is all the people who are listening to her thinking it's literally sad poetry from a high school girl. And they're it's like, not even clever lyrics. It's just the way it's presented is clever. But I mean,
Hey, just remember, Metallica were performing as teenagers at one point. That angry thrash metal. Just remember when they released "Kill 'Em All," James Hetfield was like 17.
yeah, just remember that when Metallica started, they were the same age but had talent. I'm not saying. I'm just saying she has a good idea. Okay, somebody does. Some producer somewhere in a booth somewhere has a good idea. Okay, I don't believe she's self-releasing her art stuff. Seattle.
Right.
Seattle.
I'm going to my next story.
Oh, okay.
You
I
go ahead.
was cutting out. I was like, wow, I've spent way too much time on this. Seattle, 30 other states and Washington are voting with their cell phones in government elections now.
Yeah, because that isn't an issue.
No, it's not. No, it's not at all.
Why don't they just let us vote from our computers if while they're at it?
Let me vote from your computer.
because cell phones aren't hackable.
No,
No.
not at all. Here a few months ago, I was getting text messages from family members saying, "Can I get your address? I need to send you something." And I'm like, "No, you don't at all. How'd you get my number?" It's like family. Yeah. It's like, but no, but I was getting them so regularly, I did not know if they were real or not. What's unfortunate about all of this is there's either a really good AI setup for this scam, or there are actual people following up with these text messages, because they were more or less like, "Oh, I've got this thing. How you doing? How's your job? Oh, that sucks." And it was weird, but yeah, no, Seattle, starting in April, they're going to be allowed to use, not just Seattle, there's a few other places. They're going to be allowed to use their cell phones. Now, interestingly enough, if you don't have time to vote and you're driving down the road and you're like, "Hey Siri, please vote for," I don't know who's going to be whatever, "vote for this guy," and they're just like, "I'm sorry, I cannot comply with your request. I have already voted for you." It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Not really sure about why they're doing this. Why cell phone voting? What?
I mean, are you really just too lazy to go down to your local voting?
Is voting that unimportant to you?
Yeah.
That you can't, it's like, "Oh, I don't have time." Believe it or not, there are laws that say your place of business that you work at is legally obligated to let you go vote.
Yes.
Do not let you just walk out. If they fire you, guess what? That's the biggest payday ever.
Yep.
A lot of the places I've worked at have actually let out early or started late so that people could go vote. And yep, but nope, there's probably more to it. Maybe I should open it. I read it. Okay, I did read it. Oh, that's funny. Oh, the comments
Very
are
convincing.
the comments are funny. Oh, so now Google, Apple, and Amazon will know exactly who you vote for. So much for the sanctity of the voting booth. What can go wrong? Oh my gosh, people. That's in the comment section. Trust me. Everybody's so vocal about, not everybody, the people who are probably concerned about sanctity of the voting booth are probably running around throwing flower petals, announcing who they voted for. I believe the people who believe in the sanctity of the voting booth probably actually go to a voting booth. True story. Oh, it's actually starting on the election through the election day. New technology. A new technology will be used for the Board of Supervisors election. Oh, this isn't even a real election. What are you talking about? Board of Supervisors. Stupid. Ballot will be accepted through election day on February 11th. It's my mom's birthday. And my friend Ryan's birthday. I believe it's Brian's birthday also. I can't remember. I've got 3 or 4 people I know all born on February 11th.
Huh.
Alright, well, anyway. Yep. I don't know if you had any funny things to...
I got a couple more things.
No, I didn't know if you had anything.
Oh, you mean to comment on
Holy
that?
Holy cow. Okay,
Yeah.
This is not the article I originally read. This article is like 30 pages long. It goes into voter fraud and how Seattle and these other cities are just like, we have a foolproof app. I know my neighbor's nephew made it at the community college. I don't... What could go wrong? Really?
They also thought the voting machines that you slide your card into were foolproof, and then, yeah, not so much.
If it's electronic, it's not foolproof.
Exactly.
If it requires you to punch something, as we found in the 2000 election, it's not foolproof either. Remember the hanging chads?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Essentially, you can't vote. Nobody can vote. I say no more votes. I say no more elections. If there's an election, then slap my light over there.
I think the politicians should have to fight to the death. If you win, you get the position you're running for. Give him a sword, give him a shield, go. No armor, just sword and shield. That's all you get.
I think it should be weapon of choice.
Not me.
I do. I think it should be.
Take you out of your comfort zone.
But your weapon of choice has to reflect the way you've been voting. You know, if you've been crying out against knives and things like that, then you can't use knives. If you're against gun control, or if you're against it, if you pro-gun control, then you can't use guns.
I think they should take guns completely out of it.
Why?
I want to see melee combat.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I want to see guys who there's something said between shooting a gun at a person and then having to get in close with a bladed weapon or a blunt weapon. I want to see how bad they want this political position.
Did you recently watch Gangs in New York or something?
Oh, God, I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Where they're like, no guns. What was it? The Dead Rabbits? I don't remember. That's a wonderful movie, though.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis, Leonardo DiCaprio, that was a great movie.
Daniel Day-Lewis had some epic wins during that period of time.
Yep.
Oh, gross. I apparently had some food stuck in my coffee cup. It is no longer stuck.
Gross.
Alright, well, yep.
So, let's see. This next one I have takes us to Canada. Canadian teen calls cops after fake ID doesn't arrive. It prompts police warning on identity theft scams. So yeah, he tries to order a fake ID online, and when it doesn't arrive, he calls the police. I'm glad to see that their teenagers aren't much different than ours.
Their teenagers aren't much different than our adults. What are you talking about?
That's true story.
It's like, come on. No.
An investigation determined the teen found an online seller who was purportedly selling fake IDs and made an attempt to buy one with an undisclosed amount of money. The teen also gave the seller all their personal and identifying information.
Genius.
Please don't share any personal or identifying information with anyone on the internet. You just don't know where that information goes. I do.
Yeah, it goes to your fake ID.
For somebody else.
Yeah, sure
Congratulations, that guy looking for a fake passport to get into a country under a different ID. Yep, he's now little Bobby from Canada.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, honestly. I mean, at least they appear to come into the country legally. You know, it's the effort that counts. I don't know. They're attempting it. You know, maybe I don't know. I feel like we should have like information brochures in other countries instead of like putting everything online. We rely too much on the internet these days. We need to have how to enter America legally, just that information readily available in all 6 billion countries. And that way people don't mistakenly come here illegally. It's like, oops, it was an accident. We thought we would figure that out once we got here. You know, I think we should have TV, I don't know, just radio, TV, advertisement, just PSAs.
We should be as informative as Brazil is, because when you go to travel to Brazil, they actually give you a traveler's brochure to tell you about everything that you need to know, including bring a fake cell phone and wallet because you will be robbed. Not when, not if. You're going to get robbed. Bring a fake wallet and cell phone with you so that you give them that instead of the ones that actually matter to you. I was like, wow, not if, not when. I mean, not if
not
or,
if.
but when you're going to be robbed.
When you get robbed, make sure you give them your
there was a
fake cell phone and bootleg money.
And the funny thing is, there was a comedian who talked, Brad Williams, a little small person comedian who talks about that. He was like, I thought they were kidding. And he's like, or, you know, he goes, maybe not kidding, but he goes, so I did it just in case. And he goes, and sure enough, I got robbed. He goes, and boy, did they lose out. Not only did they get an empty wallet and a cell phone, that just a cheap cell phone. He's like, I put a bunch of dick pics on that cell phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
You're welcome.
That's at a really random time in this recording. I'm going to have to watch this whole thing in order to edit that out.
I should have used a different word, but oh well. I'm sorry. At least you know
It's
at least
cool.
you know it's towards the end.
Yeah, it's around there somewhere. It's okay.
It's near the 1 hour mark. We'll be okay.
Anything else you want to talk about today?
Sure.
Oh.
What do you got?
Heck,
You
I
got
don't
anything
know. Yeah, I don't know.
How do you feel about scientists trying to bring back extinct species of animals?
I'm all about it.
Are you?
I want dodo birds and woolly mammoths stacked.
Did you hear about what's going on in Russia?
Are they bringing back Stalin?
No.
I mean,
But they found a 42,000-year-old foal discovered and frozen in Siberian permafrost.
a foal?
Which, baby horse.
Oh, okay.
And it's a extinct breed of horse. And when they did an autopsy on the body, they found actual still liquid blood inside one of the organs.
Wow.
So now
That's
they're
pretty
trying
cool.
they're actually trying to clone it. So far, they've been unsuccessful, but
They find out that this horse was carnivorous and like undefeatable. It's just, if it wasn't for that autopsy they performed, it would have thawed out and like came back to life. It's literally just, it's like patient zero of rabies.
but apparently because of the permafrost, it was well preserved.
Speaking of permafrost and glaciers, there's a Tibetan glacier that they've recently discovered 22 ancient viruses in. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. They're not nice either, from what I understand, but they would not give much more information other than that. This glacier, of course, is thawing, and so it's releasing.
Yeah, people. A lot
yeah.
of people like. So what if the ice melts? And I'm like, you know what's trapped in those things?
Yeah, apparently the things that possibly killed the dinosaurs.
There is stuff trapped in there
Yeah.
from well before man was walking the planet,
Yeah.
and we don't have any antibodies against any.
Neither did whatever it wiped out.
Yes.
You know.
Or maybe what was walking around was immune. However, we have never been subjected to it. So, can you say epidemic?
Yeah. But I don't know. It's there. It's in Tibet. We're fine.
Yeah, well, you know, there was already some sort of like plague epidemic going on.
Oh yeah,
in China.
the coronavirus.
Yeah, is that what is that what they're calling it?
I don't know, but the meme I saw about it was, "I'm immune to the coronavirus because I don't drink Corona."
Oh, God.
Neither do I.
There's already been like 200 and something deaths.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the Zeta virus?
Oh, the Zika virus? I don't know. It's around
Zika.
somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to say Zima, but I was like, no, that's not right. Is it?
Zima virus.
Is it? I don't know. Zika. Yeah, it just
No.
like
Now that you
disappeared.
mention it, I don't know if I've seen anyone I've ever known who drank Zima active on Facebook.
They're all dead.
If you're drinking Zima, you might be dead inside anyway.
If you're drinking Zima, you're probably still trying to log into your Facebook. Dang it, I ruined that joke.
MySpace?
Thank you.
that
Whatever. I'm out. Yeah. Yeah. Still editing your tripod page. Angel Fire. What was the other one? GeoCities.
Oh, God.
I'm out.
Geo-
I'm done.
GeoCities.
GeoCities. Yep.
Dang, I think I just fell down and broke my stone underwear. Thanks for making me feel old.
Feel old. You probably still remember your login.
No, I do not, but I did have a website on there on GeoCities. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
First person to find that site wins a high five.
I don't think it exists anymore. I don't think GeoCities exists anymore, does it?
GeoCities probably does. The internet never forgets.
Wow.
You could do a quick look. I will do a quick look. I'm all about this.
If GeoCities, I think it was on GeoCities. I could be wrong.
Of course you're wrong, so all of a sudden.
Now I'm curious, because if they still... GeoCities archive.
Oh no. Oh no. Yahoo GeoCities, where is it at?
Was once a very popular hosting site. And purchased by Yahoo in 1999.
Yeah, it's pretty much what killed it. Not gonna lie.
Just like GameStop killed ThinkGeek. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and just talk about that for a little while.
What, the whole ThinkGeek thing?
Oh my gosh, it died recently. GeoCities literally was just pulled from the internet within like less than a year ago. It was shut down in March 2019.
And it's not yet in the Wayback Machine. I guess they plan on doing that. They just haven't done it yet. So if the website still existed, it's not on their archives yet.
Well,
but yeah, for anyone who was once a fan of ThinkGeek, for all the weird stuff that you could find as a cool gift for your friends,
they still have some cool stuff.
Have you been there?
Do.
They don't. It's all generic stuff that you could get from just about everywhere else.
Yeah.
Have you been there? Seriously? I went there during Christmas to buy gifts for people.
I'm the only nerd I know that I would actually buy things for.
There is nothing. Everything is generic on there now. It is trash. And that hurts me because ThinkGeek was great.
Real quality pieces of art.
All the unique stuff that used to be able to find on ThinkGeek and ThinkGeek only is gone. It's terrible. Just like everything else they ruined ThinkGeek.
Just remember, with all this GameStop hate, don't hate the employees, hate the financial advisors who decide on what they're doing. It's not.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
You
don't blame the.
I love.
Don't blame the people who sell you the games or tell you that the game you just bought for $60 the week before is now only worth $3. Don't blame them. Blame the people who actually write all the rules and regulations. And,
I mean, I regularly shop at GameStop and I like it. You know, you got.
I don't. I refuse to give them my money.
Well, you got to be smart about it. And
I do. I don't shop there. Why shop there when I can buy everything online for a lot cheaper?
Well, I understand the PC Master Race has absolutely no way of trading out games because it's essentially all digital. You could buy physical copies, but there's no real market for used PC games.
No, but then if I was going to trade in old console games, I just bring them to Game Stash instead.
Ooh. You heard it here, folks. Go to Game Stash.
Go to Game Stash.
I shop at both places. I enjoy them both. Game Stash is really cool. They got a lot of retro stuff.
And they are willing to actually give you cash for the good retro games. Or store credit. Hey, I walked in there with a box full of games and I had ended up with like $200 worth of store credit. Which I probably would have gotten like $12 at GameStop.
Like it's not their fault, and they're like, "I'm gonna fall in line with the meme."
It's not the employees; it's the brand. That's
It's.
I'm sorry. It's just they took over every good video gaming store that was in the area where I grew up.
No, I don't. I understand.
And it just pissed.
Do people not understand? This is what I keep wondering, because it's just like Walmart enters an area, shuts down everything. Everybody's just like, oh, they shut down everything. GameStop comes in, shuts down all the mom and pop game shops. All right, so do you think the active ability of just showing up, that's not what shuts places down? It's the community that chooses where to shop and then complains about it. That's what it is. It's not that GameStop or Walmart, I'm using those two as an example because they're the most, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, we'll say Walmart, for example. You know, they show up, they have everything, it's convenient, and then all these, you know, the stores that built the community start getting shut down. It's the customers.
That's not what happened.
It's the customer's fault.
But that's not what happened there.
What happened there?
They literally went around and just bought every single one of them. They were like,
okay,
here's a ridiculous amount of money that you probably can't refuse. And they bought all of them and turned them all into GameStops.
Good.
That place.
Would you stop it? I have to edit this.
Oh,
in fact, no, I really don't have to. I really don't. I don't have to do anything. I am not a slave to this podcast.
Yes, you are, Todd. So am I. We're both slaves.
That's racist. I'm like a 16th, or I'm more Jewish than Jill Stein or Elizabeth Warren is Native American.
Okay.
I don't know. You said slave. I'm now offended.
You ginger slave, you. There. Are you now doubly offended?
All right. Well, no, not really. I really don't care. I'm just trying to find a record clock so I can end this as soon as possible. No, I don't know. I really don't have much more to talk about.
I know we're around the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, it's fine. I just don't understand how people can. It's consumerism. It's not capitalism. It is consumerism that kills towns. It's the consumers, because if it wasn't for people shopping at these places, these places wouldn't take over. Now, I'll be completely honest about it. If I could not work, if I owned a store and I was given the option to not work because somebody gave me a ridiculous amount of money and said, here you go, I would probably take said money, unless I just really, really, really loved my job. But
I really loved your store. Yeah.
If as a guy who plays games and plays all kinds of games, if I owned a store, that would probably be the most depressing thing for me, because there are so many nasty, sweaty people who walk in there who just cannot respect the bubble.
They do not respect the personal space.
No, they don't. And owning a place like that, you have to let that slide. Otherwise, you'll lose 75% of your client base.
One of the things that was my huge peeve when I worked customer service was in the summertime, someone would reach into like their shorts or their bra or their cleavage, and they would pull out this sweaty money, and it's like, I'm not taking that. You have to take my money. No, I don't. Go back and get something that's not drenched in your sweat.
Oh gosh, that's so gross.
That was a huge peeve of mine when I worked public service. It was
And you
just like,
describe it so well. It's so nasty.
because it's a huge peeve.
That is so gross.
It is gross. It's like, what?
Oh,
Stop carrying your money on your skin, especially when you're in the middle of summer and you're not in an air-conditioned place. Keep it in a wallet. Keep it in a purse. That's why they have those things.
oh.
All right, we're done here. Apparently I've broken Todd. And thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and hit like. Todd doesn't care if you liked it or not. Just hit the like button.
Oh, just do that. That's so. I'm trying not to throw up.
Todd's gonna go rinse his brain with alcohol.
Probably.
To get rid of that image.
It's deep. Take it easy.